In my last video, CD 63, we discussed execution of documents and stamping of documents. Today, while this video CD 64, let us understand the types of documents and the limitation period of documents and the renewal documents. If you are understanding the concept behind the topics which are discussed, kindly subscribe to this channel. You can visit my videos either using YouTube or visiting my website www.lendinghub.co.in. There are two types of documents. One is called the primary documents. The second one is charge creating documents. Primary documents examples are the demand promissory note and the term loan agreement. Demand promissory note is taken in cases where the credit facility is payable on demand. The most important example of a credit facility payable on demand is the working capital credit facilities given by us. It could be a cash credit hypothecation of stocks. It could be a cash credit hypothecation of book debts. It could be a bill purchase facility. It could be a bill discounting facility, or it could be any demand loan. The second primary security document is the term loan agreement. We are aware that the term loans are given to acquire fixed assets and the repayment is in installments and the repayment period exceeds 12 months. So the two primary documents are, one is the demand promissory note and the second one is the term loan agreement. Examples of credit facilities which are generally payable on demand where DPN is the primary document are, as I have told you, cash credit stocks, cash credit book debts, cash credit stocks cum book debts, packing credit, bill purchase bill discount, demand loan and working capital demand loan. The two known examples for term loan are, one is known as a term loan, the other one is a working capital term loan. Working capital term loan is generally provided when we calculate the working capital based on MBBF and you find that there is an excess drawal of funds from the working capital facility. The excess drawal is required to be repaid in installments, subject to, of course, the availability of the repayment capacity of the customer. When the repayment period of such outstandings are permitted beyond a period of 12 months, we call it as working capital term loan. The charge creating documents vary from types of charges. Say for example, in hypothecation, the charge creating document is deed of hypothecation or agreement of hypothecation. When it comes to pledge, the charge creating document is agreement of pledge. In case of a mortgage, if it is a registered mortgage, the charge creating document is deed of mortgage, and in case of equitable mortgage, it is memorandum of deposit of title deed. When we do the assignment of debt, if we are doing a legal assignment, the charge creating document is deed of assignment. When it is an equitable assignment, say for example, a advance given against a supply bill, the charge creating document will be irrevocable power of attorney. Now let us look at the credit facility wise the primary and charge creating document. In case of a cash credit hypothecation of stocks, the primary document will be the demand promissory note and the charge creating document will be the deed of hypothecation. When it comes to cash credit hypothecation of book debts, Since it is also payable on demand, the primary document will be the demand promissory note and the charge creating document will be hypothecation of book debts. If it is the hypothecation of stocks come book debts, in that case, the primary document will be the demand promissory note and there are two charge creating documents. One is deed of hypothecation of stocks and deed of hypothecation of book debts. In case of a term loan, where we have given the loan against hypothecation of machinery, the primary document will be the term loan agreement and the charge creating document will be deed of hypothecation of machinery. In case of a bank guarantee, the primary document will be the counter guarantee. The charge creating document would depend upon the type of security that has been given. Like suppose if it is a stock given, it will be deed of hypothecation. If it is a property given and a registered mortgage is created, it will be a deed of mortgage, like that. In case of a demand loan or working capital demand loan, the primary document will be the demand promissory note and the charge creating document will depend upon the nature of asset which is taken as security. Say for example, if it is a machinery, it will be a deed of hypothecation of machinery. If it is the stocks of material, it will be deed of hypothecation of stocks. When it comes to packing credit, we are aware that it is a pre-disbursement, pre-sale working capital finance given to exporters to procure the raw materials. There again, the primary document will be the DPN or the demand promissory note and the charge creating document will be the deed of hypothecation of stocks. When it comes to bill purchase, bill discount, whether it is inland or foreign, the primary document will be the demand promissory note and the charge creating document will be the receivables will be charged to the bank. When it comes to a mortgage, as we are aware, depending upon the nature of credit facility, it could be a charge is created on a mortgage for the purpose of giving a demand loan. The primary document will be the DPN and the charge creating document will be either deed of mortgage or it will be memorandum of deposit of title deed. Having understood the primary and the charge creating documents, let us understand what is meant by renewal document. Within the renewal document, we need to understand what is meant by limitation period, what is meant by time barment of document, what is meant by acknowledgement of debt and security. Whenever we take a document from the borrower, as we understand, there are two types of documents. One is a primary document and another one is a charge creating document. The primary document will be there in all credit facilities, whereas the charge creating document may be there, may not be there. Say for example, the bank is extending a personal loan to a borrower and no security is taken for the personal loan, in which case there will be only a primary document. And the primary document will depend upon the period of loan. Suppose the loan is to be repaid within a period of 12 months, we will be taking demand promissory note. If the loan is to be paid with a repayment exceeding 12 months, we will take what is called as a term loan agreement. And the charge creating document evidences the availability of security, whereas the primary security document evidences the borrowing. In case of default, we have to initiate legal action against the borrower. There is a time that is prescribed under law within which period the bank may have to initiate the legal action. The legal action need to be initiated within 3 years from the date on which the advance becomes due for payment. If no action is initiated within the 3 years period, the bank loses the right to initiate legal action against the borrower. The 3 years from the date on which the advance become due for payment is called the limitation period. In other words, bank has to initiate the legal action in case of a default during the limitation period. Once it crosses the limitation period, we call it as documents got time barred. The lender loses the right to initiate legal action in such case. So the 3-year period, the date from which the advance become due for period, is called the limitation period. To prevent time barring of documents and to keep the documents legally valid, the banks take either renewal documents or take fresh sets of documents. The bank has got two options. One is take a renewal document which revalidates the documents, or take fresh sets of documents. The renewal documents confirms the indebtedness and also confirms the availability of security to the advance, which means suppose a bank before the expiry of the limitation period obtains a renewal document in that account, it confirms two things. One is it confirms the liability of the borrower to the bank. It also confirms the availability of security to the bank. In case of demand credit facility, which are payable on demand, the documents are valid for a period of 3 years from the date of execution of document. So the 3-year period or the limitation period starts from the date on which the documents are executed. Say for example, in a cash credit facility, the date of execution of document is 112017, which means on 112020 the limitation period expires and the documents become time barred. The document is valid till 31/12/2019. In case the demand credit facility, the limitation period starts from the date of execution of document. Whereas in case of a term loan agreement, the period of limitation starts from the date of default. The documents will be valid for a period of 3 years from the date of default. Say for example, if a term loan is to be repaid in 10 years and the default has occurred in the 4th year, the legal action need to be initiated within the 7th year. That is, the default has happened in 4th year, 5, 6, 7. That is a 3-year period. Understand the difference between the limitation period in case of a credit facility which are payable on demand and that in the case of a term loan. In case of a demand loan, the limitation period starts from the date of execution of the document, whereas in the case of a term loan, the limitation period starts from the date of default. The limitation period in case of a mortgage is 12 years. However, the calculation of the period of limitation will depend upon 1. Whether the mortgage is created to secure an advance which is repayable on demand or a term loan. If the mortgage is created to secure an advance which is repayable on demand, the limitation period will be from the date of creation of mortgage. That is, a 12-year period starts from the date of creation of mortgage. If the mortgage is created to secure an advance which is payable on demand. Say for example, the bank had extended a cash credit hypothecation stocks facility. The bank had taken stocks of goods as primary security and the factory, land and building as collateral security. The DPN is dated 30th June 2017 and the mortgage was created on the same date. In this case, the limitation period of 12 years of mortgage will be calculated from 30th June 2017. If the mortgage is created to secure a term loan, the limitation period will be from the date the amount was due for payment. That is, bank had granted a term loan of 50 lakhs to purchase a machinery. The loan is stipulated to be paid off in 5 years at the rate of 10 lakhs per annum. The primary and collateral security obtained are hypothecation of machinery and mortgage of factory, land and building. The documents were executed on 1/5/2015 and the loan was disbursed on 10/5/2015. The borrower had defaulted his installment on 10/5/2019. In this case, the limitation period of 12 years for mortgage will be calculated from 10/5/2019. That is the day on the customer had defaulted. That is the starting point of limitation period for the mortgage created in this account. The renewal documents are also called acknowledgement of debt and security. By this, it means by executing the renewal document, the borrowers and guarantors acknowledges the debt, the liability to the bank, and they also acknowledge the security which they have given to the bank. The obtention of acknowledgement of debt and security or the renewal document revalidates the document by another 3 years. Suppose on 1/5/2010 a renewal document is taken, means the documents gets revalidated for a further period of 3 years from that date. Whenever the renewal documents are taken from borrowers, the same should be taken from the guarantors also. Please note that the renewal documents or acknowledgement of debt and security are to be executed not only by the borrowers but also from the guarantors. This is to ensure that the guarantee remains valid and the guarantor does not disown his liability claiming time barring of the document. It is advisable to obtain renewal documents every year at the time of renewal of demand loans. Normally, technically, you need to take the renewal document just before the expiry of the limitation period. But even then, as an abundant precautions, it is better to take the renewal document every year whenever we renew the credit facility. As you are aware, any demand loan or any credit facility granted for working capital finance is valid for a period of 12 months from the date of sanction. At the end of every year, we do renew the credit facility. So whenever we are renewing the credit facility, note to obtain the renewal documents as an abundant precaution. Now let us see how the formats of the renewal documents look like. Of course, the format may vary from bank to bank, but here this is a renewal document executed by the borrowers. The first line says, we hereby confirm and acknowledge our indebtedness. We also acknowledge the debt is secured in the manner stated in the Schedule 2. We also acknowledge the outstanding amount as mentioned in the schedule. Similarly, the guarantors concur in the foregoing confirmation and acknowledge their liability under the letter of guarantee signed by them and declare that the said guarantee is in full force and effect. There are two schedules. Schedule 1 gives the details of facility, limit sanction and the balance outstanding as on that date. So here, by looking at the Schedule 1, he is acknowledging the debt as on that date. Similarly, the Schedule 2 gives the details of the security document, date of execution and the amount for which the security documents are created. Now with this, we have learned what is meant by a primary document, what is meant by a charge creation document, what is meant by limitation periods, what is meant by time barment of document, how do we take the renewal document, and what is the limitation period applicable for a demand loan, a term loan and a mortgage. Please subscribe to this channel in case you have understood this. In the next video, we will discuss the filing of charges or registration of charges created by banks on the assets of the borrower with certain agencies like Registrar of Companies, CERSAI, and Regional Transport Office. Thank you very much.